Hey everyone, this is Lisa from Life in Layouts, and today I have a layout for you using the whole picture sketchbook. This is volume 2. I'm using sketch number 1, and I'm going to be using Echo Park's Summer Party, which is a super old collection, trying to get these collections used up. I'm going to be continuing on with photos from the cruise with my mom. These photos were just some photos that we took like when we got off the boat. There was this really pretty fountain, and we took pictures in front of that, and then there's just some photos in front of the beach, and then there's a picture of my mom also in front of the water. So just 4 little photos. Again, I'm using the whole picture sketchbook. Again, I think I've said it before, but I will say it again, and I will continue to say it. It is an amazing sketchbook, and if you do not have the sketchbook, definitely go and check it out. It is only sketches with 4x6s, and I think that's one of the easiest ways to get layouts done is by not worrying or stressing over cutting out photos or, trying to make photos smaller or anything like that. You're just putting those 4x6 photos down. So I did use a lot of different pattern paper in here, and I went back and forth on several different pieces. This collection does not have a good striped paper, at least what I think. I feel like the blue and green diagonal stripe, which is usually the stripe paper that I go towards, is like a diagonal stripe. I love that. There's just not enough color in the blue and green. Like I wish they would have done the colors in this like bolder stripe in a thinner stripe, because when I tried to cut out a 1/4 inch strip, even when I tried to use it with a border punch, I still did not like the way that it turned out. I went ahead and cut out these flip-flops and use that. I do go ahead and end up using the green and blue pattern paper, but I felt like the flip-flops gave me what I normally like to see with the striped paper, which is bringing all of the colors together. I felt like I could use the striped paper better because I had that flip-flop paper. I did go ahead and turn over that thicker striped paper and use the back of it, which is like an orange tone on tone, and it's got some florals, like circular florals in it, and I really like that contrast of the orange against that blue sky, and it really does break up the cloud paper with that striped blue and green paper. So on the right hand side of the layout, the sketch does call for a 6.5 piece of paper, and it does call for that paper to go all the way to the top, which is what I'm doing here. I put in that polka dot paper, the stripes, the clouds, I'm going to go ahead and add that orange piece in a second, and I'm going to go ahead and cut off the flip-flop paper, but I'm going to add that back in because once I get everything down, I do also go ahead and cut out that stripe paper and cut it at 6.5. So there originally was that 6.5 stripe there. I had that photo on the left, and I was going to add the piece down at the bottom, but I didn't like that white space up at the top that it left, and I didn't want to bring my photo up to the top because then I would have this like awkward gap between the photo and the embellishment piece at the bottom. So I went ahead and just adhered it back on. I mean, you can see, if you look really closely, you can see the line, but if you're looking that closely at something in my scrapbook layouts and in my scrapbook albums, you're probably looking at the wrong thing. So I'm not too worried about it. Once I get those back down, I go ahead and add my photos down on the right hand side. So that 4x6 in the portrait mode and then a 4x6 in the landscape mode, lining those up using my T-square ruler. And now I have the basis of the layout done. I did have to go ahead and cut another strip of the orange to add to the right hand side. What I did was I lined up the banner piece so that it overlaps on the left hand side. Then I cut out the piece at 6.5 on the right, and then I just go ahead and cut at the edge of the paper. So it looks like that middle kind of hump of the border punch goes across 2 pages, even though the one on the left is a full 12x12. I went ahead and pulled out these stickers that I have, and my title is going to be Island Life. So I used the white puffy stickers for the word life, and then these chipboard stickers, they are all different colors, and I was able to pull out just this tone on tone like pink and red, which I really think is complement of the pinks and the reds in the flip-flops. So I like the way that that turned out, and I'm so glad that I was able to get, you know, all of the letters in that one color, which is sometimes hard to do if the package has a bunch of different colors. Over on the far right hand side, I'm going to start building that cluster over there. I do have a 3x4 card that has some florals on the edges of it, and I went ahead and added an orange tag so that I can bring in the orange from that banner. Then I added a chipboard cluster of flowers and a set of flip-flops, which match the flip-flops up in the top pieces. And then I added a little blue tag and a little white piece with a blue heart on it. Then back towards the title, I start working on that cluster there. I have a sticker that has like a little sign that says beach and it's pointing to the right. So I go ahead and add that. And I have this tag that I have cut out. I recommend that you do this. If you get a lot of scraps, go ahead and pull out your Big Shot or other die cut machine. And if you have some basic shapes like tags and things like that, that's what I feel like I use the most in my clusters. And so sometimes I'll just go ahead and if I have a bunch of just scraps left, I'll go through and start cutting things out that I know I could use. Tags are one of them. Hearts and stars are another one. And I like having them ready-made so that I don't have to worry about trying to figure that out when I am actually creating my layout. So that actually goes in my embellishment books. Over on the far right-hand side, next to my photo, I have a sticker that says, "Oh, happy day." And then I have a little blue, almost looks like a ticket, but it doesn't have anything on it. So it's like a teal on the outside and then just a grid in the center. And then a camera that has the same florals that are down there in the bottom right-hand side. And then I pulled out my enamel shapes and I added an orange circle and a yellow arrow up there at the right-hand side. And then I went ahead and added different pieces to the different clusters, also adding a wood veneer heart. All right, everyone, here is my final layout as well as some close-ups. I am getting really close to being done with these photos from my mom's birthday, so that's super exciting. So continue to follow along if you're enjoying these videos. If you are enjoying the videos, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layout inspiration, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope that you have a scrappy day.